Hello, I'm Kristen Perisonotto.
And I'm Hannah Ferguson, and we're co-founders of Cheek Media Co.
This is the Weekly Cheek podcast.
Before we start this podcast, I'd like to acknowledge that we are recording on stolen land of the Yagra and Turrbal people, and this is, was, and always will be Aboriginal land. Welcome back to the Weekly Cheek.
Welcome.
Welcome. Today we are talking. Why do I do that every time subconsciously? Today.
I'm feeling really uncomfortable because I've just got my new Garmin watch, and obviously a lot of people talk about the Spy Kids watch, but it's really not my aesthetic. It's really not my look. And so I'm wearing a really funky outfit that I think is a bit too funky for who I am as a person if you see any of the reels. But the watch is really off-putting for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm a bit like, should I take it off? No, because I want to know my stress levels.
Yes.
I want to know what's happening.
You want
in my
to watch
body.
your blood pressure increase when I make some.
Oh my God, that's actually so true. We've never been able to do that before. So let's measure what we're at now.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'm at too.
My stress level is 22 out of 100. That's the lowest it's been in weeks.
I don't know how to get a stress level, but I can tell you my heart rate is 72. That's high for me.
My heart rate is 70 and that's high. Oh no, not really. My heart rate goes between 50 and then to 110 if I get nervous. And then my body out of 100 is, my energy is 61. 100 is the best, and then stress 100 is like the worst. So I'm at 23. So we're feeling
That's
good.
low.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's extremely low for me, who is someone who is constantly stressed out.
Yeah. Me too. I'm actually not. I'm like in a weird state with my stress at the moment.
Yes, you are.
It's like almost, I don't want to say despondency because that's too dramatic.
Okay.
But it's just like blank. That's how I feel a bit.
I know.
But literally in like 4 days, that's going to be one of my big stresses is going to be over.
I know, but I want to bring you out of it now, but I know I can't do anything about it really. It's just going to happen.
Just need to get angry.
Okay. Cool.
Shall we?
I'm just trying to carry a bit more of our mental load as a shared business partnership.
Thank you.
But I don't know if it's being helpful.
No, it is. It is. Thank you. Okay. What are you talking about?
Oh, today we're talking about, and now obviously I think the title will be something different because I think we'll come up with something a bit juicy whilst this happens. But the idea of today's podcast is to talk about this idea of women who get a pass. And what we mean by that is women who maybe engage in anti-feminist or even misogynistic behavior, or are aligned socially in the public eye with misogynists, and they are still popular and supported by women. And so this idea of the free pass is like, for example, one of the best examples is someone like Kim Kardashian.
Oh, you're going to start there.
Yeah, or someone like Jackie O of Kyle and Jackie O. How do these women interact with the public, and why do we not let them off the hook, but why do we hold some women to a much higher standard in terms of their feminism, and why do we accept and support and popularize these ideas and continue to back them because they've both had very long careers?
Yes. I think we should start with Jackie O.
Okay.
Because I think she's worse than most.
Is she worse than Kim? No.
I think so.
Jesus. All right, let's go.
But the thing is, the Kardashians have a much broader reach. So I guess you could argue that they're worse.
Yeah.
But I think like in a vacuum, what Jackie O does is worse.
Okay, let's go.
Because it's so overt.
What?
Okay, so what's his fucking name?
Kyle
Yeah.
Sandilands.
Kyle Sandilands. I always get confused with him and Kyle Stefanovic.
Oh, they're both awful.
Yeah, they are, but Sandilands is so much worse.
Yes.
Anyway, so Kyle.
Fuck.
I'd like to formally apologize.
I mean, I would like to point out before we get into this, I showed Kristen a picture of Eddie Maguire last year and she was like, I've never seen him before. And I was like, you're fucking kidding me, mate. And I was like, owner of, I think he owned Collingwood Football Club, and then he
don't know.
But I didn't expect you to know the owner of Collingwood Football Club, but I expect you to know the host of Hot Seat or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire every night for the past fucking how long?
I knew the name, but I was like, who is that?
But I don't care about the name. I expect you to recognize that face.
No, I didn't recognize the face, but I recognized the name, but I didn't know from what.
That is so strange. So I have no problem with this Kyle thing because.
So just to be clear, I'm talking about Kyle Sandilands.
I'll tell you who she's been talking about if there's an error.
Yeah. Although I'm not that sorry if I get it wrong, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Just kidding. Is that legally
For legal
questionable?
reasons, I am joking.
Okay, so Kyle Stefanovic. I mean,
What?
he needs no fuck.
Queen.
I told you.
Stop.
I'm just going to call him Sanderlands from now on.
Kyle and Jackie O.
Kyle and Jackie O.
Kyle. Yes.
Kyle.
Like Monster Energy, punch in the wall, Kyle.
Okay, Kyle. Kyle is fucked.
Okay. Incredible, profound commentary.
So I don't even want to talk about him, to be honest, because I don't want to give him any airtime at all.
Yes.
But sometimes it's always a balance between like, do you talk about these people to be like, they are fucked? And I think that the thing about him is like, I almost feel like I don't even need to explain what's wrong with him. Right. Like he's so openly misogynistic and seems to be uncancelable, which is the biggest problem for me.
Well, I think I just have a problem with shock jocks generally, left and right wing, because I think that what they are pandering to is an audience of reactors, and by painting a very specific picture of what Australia is and what it looks like and the opinions that there are. And they're the same people that talk about cancel culture and talk about how divisive and polarizing the country is and how radical each side is.
Yeah.
And they're the ones directly feeding into that narrative.
Exactly.
So someone like Kyle Sanderlands is the person that gets up and says, ladies, I've got a hot tip for you. In order for your man not to cheat on a night out, ensure that he leaves balls empty for the night out. Fucking excuse me, cunt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that is just absolutely fucking foul. And the fact that people on their drive home listen to that shit day in, day out is fucking disturbing.
Yes,
it is disturbing. It is nothing short of that.
Such a huge platform. And he and Jackie O were, I think last year or the year before, the highest paid radio presenters in the country.
Yeah.
And they continue to be platformed, which is disgusting to me. So, and I think that for me, and what we're talking about today, obviously, is not him, but the fact that, like, everyone does, like, people criticize him a lot. Obviously, I'm not saying that he's not criticized. It just doesn't go anywhere. But people, like, Jackie O gets a pass all the time, in my opinion. And I think that we should be, to be quite honest, I think we should be criticizing her just as much as we criticize him.
No, I don't agree with that. But I do think that the thing that makes it worse for me is that Jackie O's job is to laugh at him and then sort of pull him into line. And it's just
in a way that's like, oh, Kyle.
Yeah. Oh, Kyle. You can hear the tone, right? And I think that's more pathetic. And I don't think she's the same as him because she's not perpetuating the same narrative. But the fact that she's there as the clear secondary to him, like very, very clearly she is not the talent there. She is just the support act to react to him is even more foul to me.
Yeah.
Like she is literally just there as some sort of inanimate object that sort of just gives him a weird audience and tries to mitigate or mediate or moderate him in some way.
But doesn't actually do it.
No, and clearly is supportive of most of his views or the fundamental 70%. And then when he sort of goes a bit wacky, she's there to not whip him into shape or pull him into line or offer a different perspective or offer something valuable to the conversation, but purely just to provide like a, oh, stop it. Oh,
yeah.
You fucking know these people in your everyday life. And they're the people that... They're the reason we need feminism.
Yeah, literally. I still think, I do agree with you, but I think that she should be, I think every time we complain about him, we should be complaining about her.
No, I don't think that's necessarily fair, but I think it's actually sadder that she exists in this space that is just like, well, you're not actually it.
Do you feel more betrayed by her than him?
Oh, I don't feel betrayed by him. I
What
feel
do
like
you
we should bring back the death penalty for
feel?
him.
So the
Sorry, that was very shock drop.
the negative feelings you feel towards him, what percentage of them do you feel towards her?
20%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just think that I could have a productive conversation with her and she would admit things and concede points, because I don't think that as a character, and this is probably really offensive to most people, but I don't think as a character she's that strong. Like, I do not think she could go up against me in an argument and win, right? Whereas Kyle doesn't have the capacity for that. I know that Kyle is too far gone. I think that Jackie's doing the wrong thing and she is letting down women, but I don't think she's the same as him, and I don't think that I think that you can have conversations with her where you'd get to a midpoint.
But but that's not relevant if she's not delivering that on radio.
No, I know, but she's not delivering what he's delivering. She's just standing by. Is a bystander as worse as bad as a perpetrator? That's the question.
In that, no. But in this circumstance, I think that they should be held to the same standards.
No, I don't think
and
that's
because
fair.
of the amount of money that they're both getting, like she could, like, she could fucking leave. That's the thing for me.
He'd still have a platform.
Yeah, I know. But she's choosing to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, I know. She's feeding off it, and this is where it does come into this, like, oh, well, are you making it work for you? Is this like the patriarchal bargain? Are you making the patriarchy work for you? It's kind of like Julie Bishop.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same sort of concept. And obviously there's like a lot of women we could bring into this.
Either.
But it's like Julie Bishop was happy to be a part of the Liberal Party, happy to be in leadership roles, happy to toe that line until she left. And then she could come out and be this fucking feminist hero saying the big swinging dicks club and call them all out. And it's like, it only suited you when it was perfect for the brand.
If Jackie O resigned like now, because they've been doing this show for fucking ever, and started being like doing a Julie Bishop and being like such a feminist, I would absolutely lose my shit.
But this is the other question. Is that progress?
No.
So what do you want her to do?
It's too fucking late. I want her to have stopped it years ago. Like decades ago.
I know, but this is the other thing, is that I'm obviously like, get fucked Julie Bishop. You can't just turn around and rebrand now because it suits you. I am of that line, but I'm also like, this is better than the alternative. It's because, and I think this is where we differ, it's because I think that they are just changing the narrative based on what they think is going to suit them. And I have no fucking time for that, because if Julie Bishop was a feminist this whole time and she just toed the line and she was like, you know, maybe she would say she's oppressed or she had to keep quiet when she was in the Liberal Party, then you are participating in a system that you don't fundamentally believe in. And I fucking hate that. And how absolutely dare you? But that's my take. I know I agree. Like, in my personal life, that's what I think. But I think when we're having these conversations, while I think it's easy to just be like, it's very black and white, you're fucking done. That's really not how we should approach this if we want to create change.
No.
Because, see, I know. And I know that this is like a question where it's like, yes, of course, fuck you. Fuck you. You should have been there for us. You should blah, 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 blah. But any progress is progress, and any change of heart and any, like, what Julie Bishop can do is change the hearts and minds of women that we can't access. It's not about whether you care.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I'm not saying we have to be like, sorry, go Julie.
Yay.
Yay, Julie. Right?
Yay,
I can
asbestos
sit
Bishop.
in my home in private and go, fuck you, Julie.
I mean, we do it.
Let us down.
We do it
right?
publicly also.
Yeah. But I think to be pragmatic and think about change more broadly than our own personal viewpoint, Julie Bishop will do things that I fundamentally disagree with, but her brand of feminism, if you can call it that, which is another argument, will reach and change the opinions and minds of other women that we can't reach in some small way. And that is something.
I just think that goes to the same argument. Like, I just think that the women whose minds she can change by doing that are just like I don't want to say like a lesser version of her, but like a less, because she is a public figure, I just think that is like a scaled down to normal person level of the same shit. And I'm like, so what? So like it's just, to me, it's just always comes back to like wanting to be a feminist because it's trendy.
What is your theory of change?
My theory of change is
small, incremental, manageable change.
I don't know if that is true anymore, to be quite honest. But I've lost it. I've lost the plot.
But I think also maybe in a few days when you listen back to this, you might think that too. So what I'm saying is this might be one of those small things. And
I just don't think that's a small thing.
She's not for us. There are a lot of different people out there that need to access different types of content and different types of feminism. And although we disagree with some of those brands of feminism, if it means that my grandma has a different view of Grace Tame not shaking Scott Morrison's hand because she's thought about it a bit, heard someone else speak on it, no matter who that is, no matter how problematic that person is, there is some capacity for change. And that opinion creates conversation, and it's a tidal wave, in my view. I fucking hate Julie Bishop. I fucking hate Jackie O. I fucking hate the Kardashians, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're good, but what I'm saying is when women do change their tune, there is something small to be celebrated in that, even though I fundamentally disagree with what they've done. I disagree with what they've done to this point, and it might be just as a marketing strategy because feminism is trendy. But if there's an outcome that contributes to change in some positive way, I'm not celebrating them. I'm taking it as a win for myself.
I see what you're saying. I just can't.
I get what you're saying too, and I agree in private.
Yeah.
But I think we need to think about this as like something that helps us, not hinders.
I just think that, okay, so say if you've got someone, probably a woman, like just based on demographics, who supported Julie Bishop all through her career in the Liberal Party, and then she left and she like had this like feminist rebranding, which ironically came with her releasing a fucking Barbie doll. Okay.
Oh my God, kill me.
And then they've taken that journey and they've been like, well, now I'm a feminist because, I mean, and not like verbatim, but like they become more feminist because Julie Bishop has started talking about feminism. I honestly, to be quite frank, don't have any respect for that person.
We don't have to respect them.
And I also don't believe that they actually have, I don't think that someone who can be influenced by something like that is going to be a genuine like fellow traveller for the movement. That's my problem.
I agree. I agree. And I don't respect Julie Bishop. I don't respect...
Oh, no, I don't. I'm not accusing you of such a horrendous thing.
Wait, do you respect Julie Bishop? Did you buy that Barbie doll? Did you make them scissor?
If you
in the bath. Did they kiss? Margot Robbie in the Barbie fit. Scrumptious.
If you respect Julie Bishop, you're probably not listening to this podcast.
But do you see what I mean? Like, it's not about respect, and it's not about, for me, it's not about providing some sort of trial of their feminism. I don't want to,
I just don't think they're going to be helpful to us.
They're not helpful to us. No one's helpful to us, Queen. We're fucked. We're so far left.
Doesn't that negate your point that they're going to be, it's about the incremental change?
It is, but what I'm saying is we are far ahead of that race. They're running a few steps behind us, at least 10, I would say, maybe 100. But what that means is they're dragging some people at the back. They're pulling them along for the ride.
But then, like, what would that result in? What, them maybe voting teal?
And is that a bad thing?
No, I'm genuinely asking. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
But that's exactly what I'm saying is that's an outcome. That is creating change.
I don't know. I don't like it.
I know. I think we should go back because I think what the conversation has become about the free pass, but more about...
Yes, but also I think that Julie Bishop does get a free pass. So
yes.
Yeah.
I think the Kardashians are...
But can I make a weird comparison that I think might be me cancelling myself?
Ooh. You of course can. Then.
How is it different? Okay, so Julie Bishop came out of the Liberal Party and decided to be a born-again feminist. Why did I say feminist weird just now? What about, is there a difference between the way that Malcolm Turnbull has now come out against? Because I think that you could argue, and I don't know if I would, but you could argue that now, like what Malcolm Turnbull is saying is that like Scott Morrison's Liberal government or Liberal Party is not true to the Liberal ideology.
Yeah.
So like do you think there's, like if we're talking about women getting a pass, I guess it's kind of the opposite of that. But like, is he doing the same thing as she did?
Malcolm.
Yeah, do you think? I mean, he did cross the floor and vote climate.
But what about him has come out and rebranded? Is the question, I think.
Well, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit different. He's come out and said this Liberal Party is all wrong.
So you're talking,
is that the same thing?
No, because I think that he did run the Liberal Party the way he believes is true liberal ideology. And then he's come out and critiqued the next leader. And obviously there's a lot of spite in it and issues because Morrison fucked him off.
Yeah.
But
I think you can also like look through the spite. Like,
yeah. I actually have quite a positive view of Malcolm Turnbull, which I think a lot of people would be surprised by.
Yeah.
But
he was on the wrong side though.
Yeah. I think that, but there was always an argument that he should have been a Labor leader. And he could have been part of the Labor Party, but yeah.
Didn't.
He had quite a brilliant career, to be frank.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now, but I read his book, actually. It was fucking thick.
I read 6% and I was like, yeah, that's enough.
Obviously, he did some fucked things. Any Liberal leader did. Any leader does, to be honest. I'm not
He was really bad on some First Nations issues.
Yes.
And I think that's not talked about a lot.
No, it's not.
So we're not here to like be like, he's so amazing.
Yes, but I actually think he's one of like my top people I'd love to interview, because I think that he has a lot of progressive views for a liberal leader, and I think he's probably one of the few liberal leaders that I would trust to make a lot of decisions. And I think that what he did was not like what Julie Bishop did. I don't think it's comparable.
That was my question.
Yeah, I don't think it's comparable.
Interesting. All right, Kardashians. I hate talking about these people.
I know we called them the K words for a long time.
Because I don't like my phone to listen to me saying their name.
But interestingly, I put a question box up on Instagram the other day that was like, it was a meme, and people responded to it. The meme was like, it's something that's fucked about like our cultural conscience or collective conscience is that you cannot watch a TV show or listen to an album or know a celebrity, but you can know everything about that purely by the commentary that's online. And then everyone came back with Stranger Things and the Kardashians.
Interesting.
Like, I've never watched an episode, I've never bought a product, but yet I know everything about the Kardashians.
Yes. I know a disturbing amount, given I specifically try to avoid them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this conversation started like months ago. When were we in Sydney?
In March, Women's Day.
Women's Day.
March.
Yes. And we were at, what was that thing called? Sorry, I'm so used.
All About Women.
All About Women. It was like a festival /
seminar series, basically.
Yeah, conference type thingy. And we watched a talk that, an In Conversation, like, event with Roxane Gay.
Yep.
And she said something to the effect of, the Kardashians always get a pass.
Yeah, and they have a lot to answer for.
Yes. And I was like, pop off.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the way I feel about it, and not so much now, but definitely like a couple of years ago when I was a bit younger and like my friends were all a bit younger, I felt like you could not criticize the Kardashians. And it was like seen as anti-feminist if you did that. Because it was like, well, they're women who have like made it, and no one talked about it. Like, I think they do get a bit more criticism now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because I'm in like more progressive circles, a bit older. I don't know if that's because the world generally is criticizing them more. But I think that they do have a lot to answer for. And I think that especially Kim gets away with a lot of shit that other people wouldn't get away with.
Yeah, and I think that what they portray online, the manufactured drama, the body image.
Body image is such a big one.
But not only what they've had, the procedures they've had themselves, but the products they make. They are covering every aspect of diet culture, eating disorders, all shapewear, makeup. Like, it's
those
fucking everything.
Lollipops.
Yeah, everything that it's all, laxative tea. Oh, you'll feel great after you shit yourself to death and lose 3 kilos a day. Like, excellent.
Waist
How much
trainers.
do you get fucking paid to advertise that? Like, it is terrifying to me. And I think that we can't singularly and individually say they are the cause of fucking diet culture in this world. But I think that their contribution is so notably significant.
Yeah. Exactly. Even like because I think like the Kardashians like started the trend of like the bigger bums being in fashion, like curves coming back or whatever after the I mean, I think it's weird when people talk about this because I always say that skinniness in women is always in trend, always. But then the Kardashians, like, I guess, started up a whole new like sect of trendiness. Yes. And I think that some people would say that, oh, but they're like pushing against the like need to be skinny with bringing back the curves. I think that's total fucking bullshit. No, they are just manufacturing a new like
unachievable body type.
Yes, exactly. And like we did do an episode like ages ago about plastic surgery. So you can scroll back and listen to that. And I think that this is not really the place to have that argument because I'll go off track. But they did, they are like fairly open about a lot of surgeries now. Yeah. And a lot of girls and young women were getting surgeries to look like the Kardashians. Yeah. Also blackfishing, like yes. They do that.
But now
a lot.
There's this conversation around the fact that a lot of them are having their implants removed.
Yes.
And now there's like this discussion around them changing the body standard again, the beauty standard, because now that there's been all these images I've seen online of multiple of the Kardashians removing their butt implants, and now it's talking about how BBL is not in anymore.
Yeah.
And now it's going back to a thinner look as the most popular look, and it's because of them choosing to do that.
Yes.
How is that possible?
I know.
How do 3 people say? And I mean, I know there's more than 3, but I think 3. I've only seen 2 have the people talking about the implants being removed, Kim and Khloe.
Yeah.
How does 2 people having butt implants removed change the beauty standard worldwide in the Western world?
Exactly. Also money. Like the amount of fucking money that they spend on those types of things and the amount of money that they make based on, like, even I can't fucking open TikTok without seeing reviews of Kim's fucking shapewear line. And like,
I can't either. But it's pretty convincing stuff. Have you seen them?
yes.
It's really convincing. Like the more I look at them, I'm like, fuck, that looks impressive.
Yes.
It's so concerning how that just immediately changes things. Like,
And I saw so many reviews of people being like, oh my God, look, now I have a gap in my jeans. But then I saw this one woman who is quite skinny already, and she does like body positivity. Yikes.
body positivity.
But she does like kind of like, this is real life kind of body stuff. And she put on one of the bodysuits, and she was like, showed where it cut into her leg. And she was like, this is so uncomfortable. It's cutting into my leg.
Jesus.
And even like when you look at how much of a difference the tops make and the bodysuits make to your stomach area, like it's significant. And I just don't see a fucking world where that is not uncomfortable.
Oh, how many times have you heard beauty is pain in your life?
Ew, not for a while. Yuck. I know I've said it before, unfortunately.
And what's interesting is the reason these women get a pass from other women is because we have devalued the impact it has on our mental health and body image, and above that put on a pedestal girl boss culture.
Yeah.
And their ability to run a business and be popular and maintain fame has been prioritized over this harm.
And also they occasionally will throw out something feminist.
What do they... Get off your ass and work.
Not that. It seems like nobody works at work these days. So true. But I just think, like, why? I don't really know why they get a pass and other people don't. Is it just because they're so famous?
I think it's because people love the content.
Yeah.
People aspire to that type of existence, and they are admired for their ability to... I think there's this view that like they must be so clever and smart to be able to maintain this for so long. And for me, it's not a question of intellect. I don't give a fuck what's going on in their minds.
Agreed.
I don't give a fuck. I just think that normalizing the way their family interacts and putting your life on a stage for people to consume is disturbing. And the way that is it sick that we are impressed by what they've managed to do?
Yes, because it's at the cost of like a lot of women and girls' mental health.
And I think the fact that we think that's impressive and admirable is concerning. And I think that it says everything about the age of social media and capitalism. Like, I think that they are the perfect representation of what our society has become, which is why they continue to be popular.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they get a pass because they're so hated, but they're so comfortable with that because all that does is drive their success further.
Exactly.
We're talking about it.
And that's the thing. That's why I don't talk. I prefer to just not talk about them at all. But I think particularly and we've been sitting on this for months, obviously, when Roxanne Gay said that, I was like, fuck, that is exactly what I thought, what I think. But I didn't like ever actually put words to it.
Yeah.
So.
But... I guess the other thing is, like, I think that a lot of people might be listening to this, I might be wrong, and think, like, why can't we just enjoy the show?
Go back to the Bachelor episode.
But I think that is a perfect thing to note, because I think that as individuals who are we're just cogs in the machine, so many of us, and why can't we just go home and put on some trash and enjoy it? And I think that's a valid question. I think that is a valid question to us when we do this, is like, but I just want to watch the show and I love the drama and I love reality TV and I love tuning out, and why do I have to be constantly unpacking and deconstructing and participating in this like intellectualization of all of it, right?
Because it's all open now.
Yeah.
Maybe back when they started there was a excuse, I'm going to say, with trepidation. But I think that when it all started, maybe, because I think they were providing something in quotes different, and they did not fit the beauty standard at that time, and they did create their own beauty standard. And I think that maybe back then it was a bit more acceptable to like just enjoy their content and like maybe even make the point that they were doing something different, and that was maybe making things better for women who didn't fit the beauty standard, but then only the ones who fit their new and improved, in quotes, beauty standard. But I think that at this point, it has been like over a decade, I believe, of the Kardashians, and we know and understand the harm that they've caused. And I just don't believe there's any excuse to, there's no excuse for like, there's no excuse not to know.
Yeah, and I just think it's like the harm caused outweighs the benefit that any of us.
And I don't think that they've attempted to improve at all. Like
no,
the fact
I actually
that
think
Kim
they've harnessed the problematic elements of
exactly.
it.
Like they're just releasing fucking shapewear still.
Oh yeah,
they're doing the same
there's
shit
no
now.
Attempt. There's no, but there's no. At no point I don't think of any of them been like. I'm
gonna reflect.
No, there's nothing.
No, money talks.
But I guess it's like. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it because how do you stop these people? They're unstoppable at the moment.
And that's why I don't even try, to be quite honest. That's why I don't talk about them.
Yeah.
I would have plenty to say, but I don't know. I just don't think there's anything that I could say that could make people reevaluate, because they've had plenty of opportunities to already. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that they do get a pass, because they're too powerful.
Yeah. It's just disappointing because I don't expect everyone to be as radical as we are. I don't expect for people to meet us even in the middle, to be honest. I just expect at least an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
From someone like them, I expect even like some sort of admission that they understand what they've done.
Yeah.
But there's
and
not
we're
even
never going to
that.
get that.
I don't know what goes on in their brains.
The dollar signs.
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
It folds.
I like to see you wiggle wiggle. Faux show. If you didn't find us completely insufferable, come back next Wednesday for a new episode.
You could also find us on Instagram at Cheek Media Co. or online at cheekmedia.com.au.
Yes, that's the one.
That's the one.